This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Because of the moral panic, the trans panic of the Republican Party, the anti-CRT insanity that's happening right now, and the absolute adherence to culture wars over policy discussions of the Republican Party and conservatives across the country, I've been talking about what I believe to be, I think plainly it is, the civil rights fight of our time, and that is for trans rights. Trans rights are human rights. We're even seeing renewed attacks on the LGBTQ community relative to just being gay. Republicans are trying to, in a regressive way, drag us back to the 50s, where all people who are not heteronormative, cisgendered, that everybody else has to be quiet and silent and hidden away. The Republican Party would love a society like the former president of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, who said, oh, we don't have a problem with gay people. We don't have gay people in Iran. Yeah, right, brother. You have them, they just have to be quiet or they will be killed. The Republican Party would love nothing more than for that to be the order of business in the United States. Prove me wrong. The American Taliban, the Republican Party. And I've been talking about it a lot lately because this has been the culture war du jour for the Republican Party. It needs to be addressed. And I got some pushback on that from what I believe to be an unfortunate source. Anyway, let's go to that call.
Mr. Dollemore, this is Mike, man. How you doing? Hey, listen, I listened to you for years, man. I mean, I agree with everything you say, man. I love you, brother. You're a good guy, man. I mean, you're a soldier, man. But I had to get with you on something. You talked about Bovick one time, and you mentioned about transgender and gays and things like that. Listen, I'm a Christian man, and I just cannot see God make a mistake at a man being born a man, and he all of a sudden want to be a woman. You know, they make that decision on their own. It has nothing to do with civil rights. That has nothing to do with civil rights. They use civil rights to make that like we did back for black people like us back in the day. We were born black. We do have a right to be black. You know, but when you're born a man or you're born a woman, you can't be born a woman and change to a man and born a man and change to a woman. Or you can't like men as a man or like women as a woman. That's a choice that you make, brother. You say you grew up in a Christian household. Hey, you got to believe in the Bible, man. God don't make mistakes, brother. But look, I'm always with you, man. I mean, listen, I love you, brother, but that one I couldn't agree with you with. You have a good day, my man, and God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a soldier, man. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Look, I appreciate it. I'm not going to sit here and luxuriate in the compliments because the larger issue here is whether or not people in the LGBTQ community are born that way. This caller, unnamed caller, claims they are not. You're not born a man attracted to men. You're not born a man and you want to become a woman. God doesn't make mistakes, he says. Look, I'm not comparing. This is just to the argument of God making mistakes. Because one, I don't believe it is a mistake to be born gay. I don't believe it's a mistake to be born trans. But to the specific, and I do believe people are born gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. The science is there that is the case. I have many, many, many gay and trans friends. And who am I going to believe on whether they were born that way? You, sir? Or them? As far as God making mistakes, tell that to the parents whose children are born with brain cancer or leukemia. That God doesn't make mistakes. Babies who suffer who are eaten away by a deadly disease. You could save that argument. Two different things, because it's not a mistake that God made. People are born the way they're born. And if you want to talk about what the Bible says, and I was raised in an evangelical household and I got to believe what the Bible says, well, then I'm not going to mix fabrics. I've got closet over my shoulder here, several silk and linen sport coats. That is an abomination in the Bible. Eating shrimp is also an abomination. Just like in Levitican law, where it's an abomination for man to lie with man. It's the same level of sin, abomination level. I would just have you maybe update your views on this. And as far as it not being a civil rights issue, and I'll end here, it is absolutely, most assuredly, 100% without a doubt, a civil rights issue. When you are afforded the right to marriage, you are afforded the right to health care, and they are not, those are civil rights. Whether or not you agree that they're born that way, it does not matter. This is a civil rights fight. And in 40 years, I don't know your age, if you're still around, I would hate for you to be in the same position that white people were 40 years after the civil rights fight, thinking quietly to themselves that, I was on the wrong side of this one. I was wrong back then. I didn't stand in the gap in support of a community because they weren't like me. That would be a bummer. So my advice to you, sir, would be to get ahead of it. Get ahead of it now. Do some research, do some reading, find some people to talk to. And don't rely solely upon your particular one of thousands of interpretations of the Bible. Because I can tell you this, there's hundreds and hundreds of denominations, hundreds of churches across the country that do affirm the rights of gays and lesbians and transgender people. Trans rights are human rights as much as Black Lives Matter and Black lives are human. Black rights are human rights. In every way, it is the same. Anyway, thank you for the phone call. Thank you for your support. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. What do you think out there? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore just about everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's the goofy social media trifecta. Follow me there. That would be a good time. And if you appreciate what I do, if I bring you some value, even if you don't agree with me all the time, if you think what I'm doing is important, please consider supporting my work. You can help to produce what I do. Click the join button below this video, become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month, or click on over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to support what I do right here. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine and take care of one another.